Melania was directed by Brett Ratner and chronicles the First Lady of the United States in the 3 weeks prior to the inauguration of her husband for his second term as president. The documentary takes place approximately between the end of December until January 20th, 2025. Hey, for anyone in the back row not paying attention, this is how you review a movie without talking about politics at all, so make sure you pay close attention. The picture is shot in a cinematic format instead of a raw documentary style. An example of this is there is a scene where Melania is in a car at an airport, and she says that her favorite Michael Jackson song is Billie Jean, and the people in the car begin singing it and playing it, paying no attention or mind to the filmmakers in the car with her. I'm not saying you need to have the documentarians present in the film. That is not about them. But it would add a level of authenticity. Even when she gets out of the car, you don't see the cameraman though. It's just sitting right next to her in the previous shots. So I guess we need to pretend that this is a motion picture of sorts. The beginning of the film is her trying on dresses for the upcoming inauguration. Occasionally we hear from the fashion designer she is working with, telling us things about her keen sense of fashion, and then it follows on with Melania narrating to us her time as a model and how it taught her perfection in summation. The last time I talked about a documentary on this channel was when I reviewed Black Box Diaries last year, and that was about a reporter who was assaulted by a powerful man, and she uses her abilities as an investigative reporter to bring attention to the incident she went through. It was inspiring and felt raw. This documentary, Melania, feels completely staged from every frame that you see, from the second the film starts until the very end. And what do I mean by staged? It means that nothing that we see seems authentic or caught off the cuff. It feels like everything and everyone was told to stand in specific spots and conduct very intentional mannerisms in order to be presentable to the camera and make everything appear in a positive light, with no trepidation to add authenticity. I'm not going to mince words. This documentary is terrible and is a strong contender for worst film of the year. I guess it opened well over its opening weekend, and congratulations to it for doing that. But as David in The Lost Boys said about liking rice,
You don't like rice? Tell me, Michael, how could a billion Chinese people be wrong?
but instead of injecting any political crap here, I'm going to tell you why it sucks as a film. There's a sequence where the First Lady is watching the news, and we see the clips of the wildfires that were going on in California during that time. She talks about how she feels for all of the families who have lost everything in that situation. But that is all the mind it is given. Then we follow her meeting a wife whose husband was kidnapped by Hamas. Another terrible thing. But each event is given about 45 seconds to a minute of attention. Then we have to go to Melania being fit for a dress, and we spend multiple minutes with that instead. And her talking about how many years her and her fashion designer have known each other. So because of this, it feels like it is nothing but lip service, and the heartfelt thoughts feel empty as a result. All I see is insincerity with how the film is edited. Like it's just checking mandatory boxes, then quickly moving on to the next thing where we can glamorize the lifestyles of the rich and the famous. The president is not in the picture much in the first half. The husband and wives do have a phone conversation after the Senate confirms the electoral votes, but that's it for the president until the second half. Then, all of a sudden, the film, for reasons I do not understand, introduces weird B-roll looking footage from time to time. And instead of it coming off as raw and behind the scenes, which is what B-roll should represent in a film like this, it feels like it was inserted there as a weird stylistic decision that is incompatible with the rest of the movie, and just adds to the insincerity that spreads throughout the whole runtime. The first family flies to Washington to attend President Carter's funeral, and it fell on the anniversary of the passing of Melania's mother. We briefly meet her dad, and Melania talks about how her mother taught her life values. Then she attends a church where she lights a candle for her mother. Then she speaks with some members of the church. This could have been a great time to humanize the First Lady. Show us footage of her mother, maybe some old footage of the mother and daughter together when she was younger. Help us relate more to the grief that she feels. But we don't get any of that. Instead, we move on to her flying back to New York, then to Mar-a-Lago. It just seems like everything is staged as only checking boxes. If you want a documentary that is surface level and only shows the amazing achievements of the First Lady, please go nuts. There were 13 other people in the theater with me, and every one of them had white hair, so I think you could probably guess who most of the target audience is for this film. So because this film feels completely fake, disingenuous, and staged, it completely destroys the documentary aspect for me. And since this is supposed to be, a documentary, it ruins the entire experience. The filmmaking is basic to mid, with basic voiceover work done by the First Lady. The editing is basic to mid, and I feel no life in the camera work or camera placement. There's a sequence where they attend a dinner the night before the inauguration, and Melania talks about how she helped coordinate the dinner. Why didn't they show us that in the film? Maybe we could have at least shown her working and planning and getting her hands dirty. Maybe it would have helped me like her more. But there's no humane qualities to anyone in this film with the way it is presented. Instead, we just get cameo appearances from the likes of Elon Musk and Joe Rogan. Cool, I guess. Don't need that when the name of the movie is Melania. So, yeah, this movie is terrible. It has weird music choices, basic, almost sleep inducing voiceover work, and all the scope shots feel like a travel log I would see in a hotel room showing me places I might want to visit. I guess I'm happy that this film was successful for them, but all I can do is tell you whether or not I enjoyed it, and I sure did not. Between this and Return to Silent Hill, I had a pretty bad week at the movies this last week. I would say I don't recommend this movie, but everyone has made up their mind if they wanted to see it or not. So what good would my voice do? This is just my channel and I review every movie I see, at least I try to. So I'm putting this out there for me more than anything. So I'll just say that the idea of getting a behind the scenes look at the First Lady sounded kind of exciting to me. But instead I got a 1 hour and 45-minute infomercial. So yeah, screw this movie. I give Melania half a star and a golden turkey. Did you people in the back row take notes on how I reviewed the movie without mentioning politics once? Wow, maybe it would do you good to notice that before you label me whatever you want to label me for not liking this film. One side note, I can't wait until Trump is out of the public sphere so I never have to hear the word million ever again. Ugh. And that is my review. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please like and subscribe. Here's links to my other videos. Follow me on social media if you like. And until next time, I am Ghost.